So let's talk about NASA. I made a video earlier about flat Earth, and NASA ties right in with this. So let's look at the logo. Notice that there's a serpent tongue going through the middle of the logo. I mean, if that isn't telling that they're deceiving us, the serpent. And a question, if Buzz Aldrin was the first person to step onto the moon, who took this picture? And how did they call from space a landline in America? They try to pass this off as high technology. I mean, come on. Tell me why Buzz Aldrin has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And all the astronauts, Armstrong, Aldridge, Collins. I mean, why? Aren't they? Because they're actors. Why does Donald Trump have a star on the Walk of Fame? You may say, well, he was in that reality show, so that's why he's an actor. But what about Barack Obama? He was never an actor. Come on, guys. It's called central casting. Central casting. Established 1925. Get paid to work as an extra in film and TV. This is the building that they use to coordinate all of their actors for the world stage. Werner von Braun. He was a director of NASA. Look on his tombstone. Psalms 19:1. Psalms 19:1, and the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. He's even telling you right there, there is a firmament over the earth. They have fooled us. Here is a flat earth model, and here is a UN logo. Notice the flat earth model with the ice wall around it. And you might say, why the deception? Why was the devil so intent on making us believe that the world is spinning in this vast galaxy and there's all these different planets? And because he was setting the stage for this time right now, the great end deception, that there are life outside of this universe, and they are coming here, and they are higher beings than us, the Anunnaki, the whatever you want to call them, that they are for us. That they're not really the fallen angels that the Bible talks about in Genesis 6, another thing that the church failed to really expose to us. This is why it's all coming full circle, is because in the end, we will the ones that are not lovers of the truth, 2 Thessalonians talks about this. If you are not a lover of the truth, and this is why I'm bringing these truths to the social media platform, is because God himself promises to give those that do not love truth over to the great delusion. And I do believe that this is really the great delusion. The fact that these beings are going to come here in the mothership and try to sell this, that they're here for us, and worship us, and we're your gods. And there's so many people that are going to fall for it because they believe everything they've been taught in church and in school. It starts in school. You take your kids to school to learn, and guess what they're taught in the B system? They're taught that the world is a globe, that's where we learn it, and that we landed on the moon, and that there's all these galaxies and planets. Who made a planet model and all the galaxy model? I mean, we learn lies and deception as children because it's easier to fool children and to indoctrinate them young before they start reading the word for themselves. Then you go to church, and guess what they teach? The same thing. The last church I went to, which I obviously don't go to church anymore, the last church I went to, the man stood up there and literally was fighting with his associate pastor because the associate pastor believed in a flat earth. And he said, it is absolutely round and spinning. I'm telling you, the deception goes so deep. And you have to wonder, are these pastors in on it? Because do they really know? Are they really working for the devil? Or are they just so blinded by the lies of seminary? Because seminary is where the devil teaches the men that come and tell us how to interpret the Bible. That's where the devil goes, because he knows the word says to study to show yourself approved, not go and listen to a man over the word of God. I just wanted to make this video to make it known that the full circle of all of this, that there is a reason why the devil, it wasn't just contrary to the word of God, which obviously it is. The reason why he was setting the stage for such a time as this, for the end days deception, that when all of you see all these spaceships and all these things start coming to light, and then all of a sudden they're on TV introducing themselves that they are here, know that those are not what they say they are. They are demons. They are fallen angels. They're fallen angels. So please don't fall for this great deception and get in your word for yourself. Come out of the 501c3 churches where the devil is preparing his people to go and teach perverted scriptures. God bless you, and I love you.
Welcome to 2025, where grown adults think that we can land on a light in the sky. Bro, you guys think there's land in the sky? It's so dumb. 23-year-old is preparing to become the first human on Mars, and she will never return. Never return from where? The studio that they're gonna fake this in? You guys need to grow up. No one's ever been to space as defined by the mainstream. Mars is literally just a light in the sky. And you guys think you can go and land on it. Do you realize how long they've been saying we're gonna go to Mars? It's never happened. It never will. Space is fake. Time to grow up.
Here's my wee boy on his new electric scooter. He loves that. Isn't technology amazing these days? Look how far we've actually come. And I wondered, when did the first electric scooter actually appear? Turns out, as early as 1916. Can you believe that? I always thought this was a new invention. Crazy, right? But old tech gets even better. Did you know that by the Second World War, they actually had levitating pods, devices that floated using electromagnetic fields? Honestly, I would never have believed it if I hadn't seen it, and if I hadn't read the patent for the technology behind these levitating pods. Here's a fact from the patent. It only works in an ionised environment. Do you know, like the electromagnetic fields all around us? Why would anyone file a patent for a technology that needs an electromagnetic field if we didn't actually live on one? Ask yourselves that. So what actually happened to this technology? It will probably be the same as the scooters and disappear for a century, and then it'll be reintroduced in dribs and drabs. Imagine being lost, buried for over 100 years and then suddenly coming back as a new concept. I reckon by 2050 we'll be seeing these levitating pods everywhere. Governments erased history, they erased technology, and they made us think that we were the clever ones. But look on the bright side, they're coming back, and maybe if you're good boys and girls with a good social credit score, you might be eligible to ride one of these pods in 25 years. So remember to say thank you to your one world government for allowing you such a wonderful opportunity to sample the amazing technology that we will all be marvelling at in the year 2050. You heard it here first.
If you put a heavy string on the balloon, you can cut that string exactly where the weight of the string equals the buoyancy of the balloon, so that it makes it balance exactly wherever you put it in the air.
Okay, and there you go, the perfectly balanced balloon. So now all we have to do is wrap up the string around the balloon.
But then once you've made it exactly balanced, another force takes over instead of gravity, and that's the electrostatic force. So there's always an electric charge on the balloon, and so you can use that electric charge to direct the balloon all around as if you have the force.
Damn, this is wild. Okay, so I prompted ChatGPT. I said, speak as the ultimate philosopher slash psychologist. I want you to blend ancient wisdom with modern science, Stoicism, Buddhism, Jung, neuroscience, all of it. Now give me 5 brutal truths about the human mind, the kind of truths people need to hear if they want to stop wasting their life. Number 1, you think you're thinking, but you're mostly remembering. Your thoughts are just loops your nervous system finds familiar. You're not making decisions, you're repeating emotional echoes. Unless you interrupt the loop, your future is your past in disguise. Number 2, every excuse is just a well-dressed fear. Your ego protects you from embarrassment more than it guides you to greatness. The moment something feels uncertain, your mind pulls the emergency brake and calls it logic. Until you're willing to look stupid, you will never be free. Damn, that's so good. Number 3, you don't have a personality, you have a pattern. What you call you is just the most rehearsed version of who you've been. Identity is a trance, you perform it until it fossilizes. The only way to change is to stop trying to feel different and start doing different. That's good, that's right on the money. Number 4, the shadow you ignore becomes the God you serve. The traits you deny in yourself don't vanish, they possess you in secret. You'll chase them in relationships, project them onto enemies, or pass them on to your children. What you refuse to own, you will be owned by. Number 5, you're not judged after this life, you're revealed. Everything you practice, your choices, your impulses, your love or your neglect gets carved into your soul. Not in some heaven or hell, but right here in your relationships, your regrets, and your reflection. You don't get away with anything, you become it. Damn, mic drop by ChatGPT.